Hello, the Rhinolution. That is such a bad habit of mine. Every time I start a video, instead of like before I start the video taking a drink, I always like end up taking that right as we start. So, hello, the Rhinolution. I wanted to jump on and talk to y'all today about something that I keep getting a lot of questions about. For those of you that follow me on my personal page will understand what I'm talking about, but if you don't, make sure you follow me on my personal page. I have been setting intentional work time and family time, and I've done a few things to help me with that, and I wanted to talk about it because I keep getting a lot of questions about it. I keep getting a lot of people concerned about it for different reasons, and I'll explain that. But I wanted to tell y'all kind of what I'm doing to change up my routine and why. So for a long time, I'm a red-yellow personality. So red is my main color though, and that means I'm a go-getter, I'm an achiever, I am, I'm one of those people that if I have my mind set on something, I'm gonna make it happen no matter what, whether it's no sleep or whatever. And so I, for a long time, no, sorry. Okay, sorry, I was itching. And Harrison. So, and this goes into kind of what I'm going to talk about is this little one right here. So for a long time, I would practically like make myself sick working so hard. I was extremely anxious all the time. I was overwhelmed. I had that like little feeling, that twinge in my heart where stress. I felt all over the place, scattered, just couldn't focus, Harrison, what are you doing, buddy? Okay, well, I'm doing a video. Sorry. And I was just all over the place and stressed all the time. And it wasn't healthy. And I truly believe, listen to me, I truly believe that me working the way I did for the 3 years when I started my business contributed to my Lyme disease. I had chronic and acute, but I totally think it woke up like dormant Lyme disease inside of me. I totally think it had something to do with my breast implants and the toxicity and all of that, like affecting my body because my immune system and my energy and I was such low frequency because I was so stressed all the time. I know for a fact that working like that contributed to me drinking too much, which now I'm on a sobriety journey as of January 14th. This year. So that's not, I'm not drinking anymore. But I truly feel that my stress levels and the way that I was working hard but not smart at all contributed to all of that. And a couple weeks ago, I said enough was enough. The beginning of the year when I started my sobriety journey, the end of last year, December when I got my breast implants out, November of last year when I got diagnosed with Lyme, I started all this holistic stuff with my naturopath, all of that to try to heal, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I know how powerful our bodies are. I know how powerful our minds are. I know that how powerful our frequencies in our energy, whether it's low frequency, which is like illness, stress, all of that, affects that. There are statistics out there that show that stress causes like 95% of disease. Literally more than that, I bet. But literally stress causes all of that stuff, y'all. That's cancer, that's, autoimmune diseases, that's everything. And I totally believe in that. And so I knew I've known for the whole year, but really haven't taken my own advice, that I needed to slow down to be able to keep going. The way that I was working was not sustainable, and my body was telling me so. And I know so many of you watching right now are working in the same fashion of stressing yourself out, flailing around like this all day, every day, right? Like, oh my gosh, kids, stop. Like just all over the place, whether you work a 9 to 5 or you work from home or wherever like me, you have to know that that is no way to live. And you're not serving anyone. You may get to a goal that you want to get to that way, but I can tell you that it comes at a cost, and you can take that from me. Okay, so if you want to share this with your business people or whatever at the end of this, please do, because I want everybody to be using my hindsight as your foresight. I want you to know that to be successful, that does not mean killing yourself. Now, are there going to be seasons of hustle where you're like not sleeping as much and you're working a lot more and all that kind of stuff? Yes, but I'm talking about your day-to-day life of living in this state all the time is not healthy. And so what I did a couple of weeks ago to start this journey, and I'm still learning, I'm still catch myself going back into old ways, and I pull myself out of it. But to start, I think it was 2.5 weeks ago, I removed Messenger from my phone. And people might say, well, why not Facebook? Well, because I literally work on Facebook, right? Facebook is a part of my business, but I'll tell you more in a minute. I'm intentional with that time now. But I removed Messenger because if you're like me, I was one of those people that every time a message popped up, I felt the need to immediately respond to it. I felt the need to immediately get back to that person. And there for a while, I trained myself to not answer, because a lot of times when people were messaging me at stuff, either they could find themselves or it just wasn't important. But I always put that importance on myself for some reason. I always felt the need to immediately respond. And then it was like my phone goes off all day, right, on Messenger. And so I was like, enough is enough. This is not important. People that know me can text me. If it's an emergency, people will post on my Facebook page, whatever, right? So I removed Messenger, and the first couple of days it was a little weird. Like I had a little bit of anxiety about it. I was like, oh my gosh, what if this person needs me? What if this person needs me? But after a couple of days, I actually forgot about Messenger for like 2 days and didn't even open it because I have to come to my computer or my laptop to do it. And it was so freeing. And ever since then, I don't miss it at all. I check Messenger once, maybe twice a day, depending on my work days, and that's it. So that's one tip that I give y'all. The world will not end when you don't answer a message right away. It just won't, right? It just won't. You are not that important. I am not that important. It is not that important, okay? And if it is that important, then the people that you would have that obligation to would have your number, or they'll post on your Facebook page or get somebody to call you or something, right? But really those things they're just not important. And then another thing that Danny and I started doing, which I've actually slacked the last couple of days on this, because I'm just being honest, is that we started waking up before 6 o'clock every morning. So we would wake up at 5:45, 5:55. I like 5:55 because it's angel numbers. And get up and have intentional quiet time before Harrison wakes up. And what that looks like is I would read, I have like 3 devotionals that I kind of go through, journal, and then I would actually get a little bit of a work done to plan out like some posts or something for my groups, whatever it may be, so that when Harrison wakes up, then I can solely focus on him and I'm not connected to my phone and I'm not on the computer or whatever. And then throughout the days, we're making sure that I am checking in. I can check Facebook on my phone, but I'm forcing myself, and this takes conscious effort, guys, because social media and your phone is an addiction. It is a form of addiction. There's all the scientific stuff that I'm not a scientist, but there's all scientific research on how it affects your brain to get that rush of adrenaline, to get that dopamine hit from opening your phone and checking social media. There's science behind it, what it does to your brain. So it is a form of addiction. And I'm telling you that it numbs you. It makes you distracted. Social media and your phone will give you anxiety, overwhelm you because there's all the things going on, right? And it will take away from what I believe is super important, and that is your family and your health, okay? And so for a long time, my family was taking the back burner. My family was, yes, we made sacrifices, but at the end of the day, my health and the stress that I felt and the lack of like connection, like the deep connection I felt with my family just wasn't worth it, y'all. And so what I'm doing now is I'm working smarter. So we're getting up earlier, and then I'm scheduling hours that I sit in my office, or I'm scheduling hours that I get on my laptop. Harrison, don't do that in here, buddy. And Danny's on shift right now, so I've got Harrison all by myself, and I've got guns too, so don't even try it, creepers. Just kidding. Not really. Harrison, don't turn that on. So it's a little bit more chaotic on days where it's just me, but Harrison knows. Go. See, you have to be. But Harrison knows, like, hey, mommy's got to do a couple videos, and sometimes he comes in like this towards the end of like my work time. But then after that, like, I'm gonna go shower and we're gonna make cupcakes and brownies together. But brownies are gluten-free, the cupcakes aren't. But I'm just saying, I'm setting that intentional time, and y'all, it has been such a blessing. It has been so awesome for my business, for my family. I feel less stressed, less overwhelmed, and guess what? My businesses are still growing because I've set good leaders in place to keep things going. But more than that, I've empowered people that this is their own business and that the world does not revolve around me. The world and the answers of the world and your business are not on my shoulders. They're on your shoulders. And I think it's super important that you learn that if you do have a business, whether it's with network marketing or my dad, he owns a very successful automotive shop, automotive and truck diesel shop, and he has for a very long time. And he has helped people and empowered people to take responsibility for their own success. And that's what we have to do in our businesses, is make sure that we set up a good foundation so we can not be on our phone 24/7, because I didn't work as hard as I worked to feel like a slave to my phone and not have a connection with my family. And so I think it's super important that if you are one of those people that are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, anxious throughout all your days, not feeling like you have enough time, then you need to get it together. You need to remove Messenger from your phone. You need to set a schedule, whether it's you wake up an hour before your kids, get some quality personal growth time and then work done, whether it is, you scheduling like, okay, this hour, because listen, when I know that I've got to spend an hour or two solid time, no social media, no phone, I'm getting to where, like, when Danny and I leave the house, if we're going to do something as a family, I'll leave my phone and use his to take pictures. We'll do all of that. And so if you know that you spent this quality, incredible time with your family, then you don't feel guilty when you go, I'm going to go in the office for an hour and do some work, because you dedicated and spent that time with your family. I'm telling y'all, flailing around and thinking that the world revolves around you and that you have to be on social media 24/7, that is just not how it works. And you will slowly damage the cells in your body. You will damage your spirit and your soul. And I'm going to be doing a lot more talking about this in the Rhino Academy, because I could talk on this literally like all day. No joke. I have so much I could say. I've got so many time management skills I want to talk about and teach y'all and tell y'all. And a lot of that's going to go into the Rhino Academy. But I'm just loving y'all. Those little tips, removing Messenger, checking it twice a day on your computer, making sure that you're not just sitting on social media scrolling, just making sure that you are being very intentional with your time. Working smarter means working harder, because I can tell you, if you're at a max stress level all the time and you think you're doing all these things, I can tell you that you're probably half-assing all those things. And half-assing all of the 12 things versus full-assing one thing is a lot better, okay? So you need to make sure that you are putting all your booty into one thing, because you want to make sure that you are being efficient and intentional and getting the job done, not flailing around giving half your energy, because you probably only have half your energy to put into something, to everybody else. It's kind of like you can't fill somebody else's cup if yours is empty. And so I really challenge y'all to be intentional, to really take a second and y'all are funny. Take a second and just I want you to really think, am I going through my day really doing anything, or am I just scrolling social media, staying stressed all the time, not spending quality time, not giving my kids 100%, not giving my husband 100%. And this could go with social media, TV, food, whatever it is, really think of why you are picking up your phone. Are you picking up your phone to distract yourself from the emotions of being in a certain moment? Are you picking up your phone to distract yourself so you don't have to give your kids who are annoying you your full attention, even though they're probably annoying you because you're not giving them your full attention, and you're annoyed because you're feeling pulled in 12 different directions because you think that being on your phone is more important? No. So be intentional. Give yourself a good, just really think about it. I'm telling you that stress causes over 95% of all diseases. That includes cancer, that includes everything. And you need to know that it's not worth it. And you need to keep your frequencies high. You need to keep your frequencies positive. The first couple of days, like I said, not having Messenger on my phone, only checking it, being very intentional, not just sitting on social media scrolling every day, all day, was tough. Leaving my phone at home when we leave is tough. But I do it because my family is important, my health is important, and yours is too. So I really challenge you to do it. And if your ego's in the way, you need to do some soul searching, because if your ego, and if you're saying, I could never do that, I'm working towards this goal, when I get to that goal, I'm gonna wrap this up just with this. When I get to that goal, then I'll rest. I don't like the phrase, and I used to, guys. I'm a red, I get this, but I'm doing this soul searching and I'm sharing it with y'all because I don't want anybody to go down the path that I've been through. The whole rest when you're dead thing, no. Take care of yourself now so you don't die sooner. And here's something very serious that I'll end this on. I think this was in a book I read. It might be Present Over Perfect. Anyways, this is kind of just a summary of kind of what it is. But this girl went over to this guy's house, this man's house, that she was the friend of his daughter and all of this. And she was a photographer and a videographer, and he wanted her to record some things for her. She didn't think anything of it. She went over there. And this man, in his 50s, was in a tux, and he wanted her to record some stuff. And as she started to record it, he started giving these father of the bride speeches, and his kids weren't married yet, father of the bride speeches and graduation speeches and all of this kind of stuff. And she was so confused, and she was like, what is going on? Why am I recording this stuff for you? And he goes, because I'm dying. I have stage 4, whatever, cancer, and I'm not going to be here much longer. And I want my kids to know that, I love them, and that I'm sorry for not being there enough, because I thought that putting money in the bank and I thought that working all of those hours and putting in all of that work was more important than making memories with them. And it's my one biggest regret of my life, but at least I can leave them with this. That in itself should make you want to work smarter, which equals working harder, y'all. Exerting your energy for 24/7 a day, obsessing over social media for 24/7, 7 days a week is not healthy. And I'm telling you that the one thing that people say when they look back in life is not, I wish I would have worked harder. Even when they become successful, it's, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. Because I can tell you right now, my business is still growing. Your business will still grow just as much, if not more, if I wouldn't have taken this time. And if I haven't been sitting and being very intentional with my time and letting myself relax and reset mentally and slowing down, I'm not rushing through my days. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have talked myself into and finally decided to take the leap to start the Rhino Academy, to start recording my digital courses that I've been wanting to release for so long, to start opening up one-on-one coaching, to do all of this stuff that I've wanted to do that I didn't think I had the time for, when really I had the time. I was just filling my days with less important stuff like scrolling social media and being addicted to my phone. So I'm actually going to be more successful because I'm able to give my full honest self and my full attention to my tribe in my current business, to this group, to the Rhino Academy, to my one-on-one coaching people I'm going to take on, to that, because I'm going to be very intentional about my time instead of just flailing around like a chicken with my head cut off. Okay? So if you worry that you won't be successful, you will. You'll be more successful because you'll be able to think better. You'll be able to have more clarity. You'll be able to release the stress and anxiety that chases you around all day. You have control. Okay? Love y'all. I hope this was beneficial, and I will talk to y'all soon.